The Cardinals just suffered a brutal loss to the San Francisco 49ers, which I think we can all agree should not have happened. It was ugly, it was gross, and it's a division loss where you lose by 1 point. There's a lot to discuss today, a lot of ugly. We're going to dive into everything that I have seen, and I have a lot of problems with where this franchise currently stands. So let's dive into this video, man, because I am not happy, and the state of this team is pretty abysmal. So first things first, Kyle Odegaard, we have a couple tweets from him today, but the wide receiver production is just awful. As you guys see, Michael Wilson has 3 total catches in the season. Our wide receiver 2 has 3 catches. That's not a Michael Wilson issue. That is a scheme issue. It is not catered to the wide receivers. They don't get involved. The vanilla route combination that we're watching week in and week out, it's just unacceptable. It gets to a point where if your wide receivers aren't getting put in a good position to get the football, and I understand it's tight end centric, you want to get Trey McBride the ball as much as possible. He's a safety blanket of the offense. All tight ends typically are. That's fine. But when you have no wide receiver production, it's hard to march down the field when everything is a dink and dunk and everything is a screen pass. 3 catches for 21 yards on 83 routes. That's just unacceptable from your wide receiver, too. Got a lot to clean up. Going into the next thing with Kyle Odegaard. Also, since this offense is catered to the running backs and actually running the football and playing that smash mouth attack, you would think that you have a high success rate. But losing our O-line coach is coming and biting us in the butt. There's a lot of coaching things in this coaching tree last year when they just take a job somewhere else and you don't really know. And then you start to struggle and you really wonder why. Well, this is why. So the Cardinals have a rushing success rate of 30%, third worst in the NFL. And this is a team that last year was super dominant in the run game. James Conner also out. If you guys didn't know, let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. James Conner will be missing the rest of the season more than likely. He's out indefinitely with an ankle injury. He will have surgery, and now we're in a very bad position. Don't know how we're going to come back from this, but Trey Benson, you guys know I'm very high on him. I wanted him to be the running back 1, while James Conner kind of just takes that back seat and gets the 40% carry rate. Trey Benson now is elevated into a role where now we need a running back. Maybe Michael Carter gets elevated, maybe Bam Knight gets elevated, but Amari will be here for pass pro, and Trey Benson will take over as that every down back. We'll see if he can step up. I think he can. He has 2 great runs this season, popping off 2 of the longest runs for the Cardinals all year long. We'll see what happens, man. But James Conner being out, that sucks. But we'll see what happens, man. So JC will be gone. Trey Benson is going to step in. And something else I see, too, is this right here. This is crazy because this is real. People believe this. This tweet is just talking about how Marvin Harrison Jr. is basically broken, which we'll talk about in just a second, because maybe he is. We don't know. He had 2 really bad drops. Really bad drops. He had the end zone one where he literally had to dive for it. I understand it's a difficult catch, but this is a guy who took number 4. Larry Fitzgerald would have caught that. I am comparing this man to the best because I think he has the talent to do so. So I hold him to a higher standard. Yes, you guys know how much I am bought into Marvin Harrison Jr., and I'm not giving up on him at all. I'm being critical, but I'm not calling him a bust. A lot of people are going that far. I'm not going that far. Marvin Harrison is still a great talent, but he does seem broken right now. And the mentality, he seemed upset after last night, and he wants to correct this thing. He understands he has to be better, but it's not there right now. And it's unfortunate, but people like this exist. If you're going to hate, at least hate for good reason, or make it make sense. We have Triple G saying, still a terrible throw, and Craig, to be fair, he was open forever. Probably doesn't think the ball was coming to him. Brother, you're an NFL wide receiver. The ball wasn't wobbly. It might have not come at the perfect time. But that's not an excuse. It genuinely is not an excuse if it doesn't come at the perfect time. If he finds you wide open and you have no one within 10 freaking yards of you and you drop the football as an NFL receiver, a lot of people, if you're not taken with the number 4 overall pick, if you put up a performance like Marvin Harrison Jr. did, you're cut the next day. Marvin's not going to get that treatment because he is talented. He is great. He was taken with the number 4 overall selection. He's not going anywhere. But if anyone else who is like a 7th round pick improving themselves had a day like he did, he's out of here. This is a terrible drop. Marvin himself knows this is a terrible drop, and his mindset seems so defeated right now. That is not something that is good. That's why I say you have to get these receivers the ball early. He's a young receiver. Build his confidence. Right now we're killing it. That is unacceptable. Drew Petzing has to be better, but Marvin Harrison has to be better too. Where's the tweet? Hold on. I have a tweet right here. Hold on. I'm pulling up everything. Here it is. Sorry, you guys probably saw a little bit. We'll touch on everything in a minute. I said I'm raising the flags with Marvin. Seems like he isn't NFL ready right now. It is only a year or two, but it really seems like that. Runs the wrong routes, misconnects with Kyler, and dropping open balls. Petzing is a massive issue. You guys understand where I stand with him. I want him gone by tomorrow. But his wide receiver 1 is terrible. And if you disagree, I don't know what to tell you. Marvin Harrison is abysmal so far. He had a great game in week 1, got shut out in week 2, and this game was just awful. Marvin Harrison knows he has to be better. He could have easily cracked 75, 90, 100 yards last game. He just has to hold on to the football, man. He still had he had all the opportunity last time. I can't blame Drew Petzing for this one because Marvin Harrison Jr. catches those. We win. Kyler gets that connection to Amari. That's a walk-in touchdown. But the offense is awful overall. Petzing, in his situational awareness, is terrible at making decisions. He also can't scheme open receivers. We're running this vanilla bland offense where it just seems like he doesn't trust his players. We have talent. And you guys have seen what have happened with scheme, coaching changes. You get them under a better regime and they're balling. Saquon Barkley, balling. Daniel Jones, balling. You take them out of a bad situation sometimes and they thrive. Kyler Murray, I think, would be subject to this same thing. Marvin Harrison Jr., same thing. I think there's guys that would thrive elsewhere. Michael Wilson, I'm not the highest on him. I think he would be a great wide receiver 3. Put him in, anywhere else. Put him anywhere else. He's thriving. Put him in Minnesota. And he'll show you he can be a wide receiver 2. I genuinely believe that. Or at least a wide receiver 3. Because I'm not really worried about it. But, yes, they do need to separate. They do need to be better. But Drew Petzing is awful. And I'm so sick of watching this. And I know you guys are too. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. If you guys don't know DraftKings, you must be sleeping under a rock. Because they're one of the biggest sports books in the entire world. And they have an offer for new customers. If you guys have never signed up, listen to this. If you bet $5, you will instantly get $200 in bonus bet. You haven't signed up. This should get you to do it. And if you do sign up, make sure to use code MYTHICAZ. You'll unlock all of these benefits, all of these offers. And with the NFL season starting, you got a lot of bets to hammer. Downloading DraftKings is the best way to make your Sundays more enjoyable, or just sports overall. So if you guys haven't, like I said, go ahead, check out DraftKings. Make sure you use promo code MYTHICAZ as well. Unlock all these great benefits. They're offering something absolutely crazy right now. You guys do not want to miss out. Once again, thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you're betting responsibly as well. But once again, like I said, thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to go sign up. And this is what I'm saying too. This is fantasy usage, so take this with a grain of salt because our receivers have dropped passes. But at the end of the day, this just goes to show that the Arizona Cardinals offense is broken. The Steelers offense has looked terrible. They just put on a nasty performance where the defense is carrying them, just like our defense is carrying us too. And it's hard because if you don't have elite wide receiver production, it's tough, man. If you have no identity and you can't win, you're just struggling. We're not a team like Green Bay, who I really don't like how their offenses look. The Eagles have looked terrible outside of last game. They can't pass the ball. They had -1 yards at halftime last game, and they got things going in the second half. The Eagles, great team, but they suck. There's a reason the Cardinals are at the bottom half. You don't see many elite teams right here. So the Cardinals have a lot of things to address, and wide receiver production in Drew Petzing is one of them. I think Drew Petzing deserves to lose his job, but I digress. Thursday Night Football, if we don't win this game, I'm hoping the offense gets absolutely embarrassed and this wakes Jonathan Gannon up, and he has that wake-up call. Because this absolutely irritates me. To see stuff like this, or Jonathan Gannon, this is from Theo Mackey, says, I had no problem with the offensive play calling, never will. I know exactly what we're calling, so if you've got a problem with that, you should look at me. And Jonathan, at this point, I like you as a head coach. I really do. I stand with you. I think you're a phenomenal head coach. But saying stuff like this and putting your job on the line for somebody who is so incompetent at their job, it makes no sense. You don't need to take accountability for that. I understand it's the right thing to say, but even just openly coming out and saying, put it on me, I will put it on you because you're employing this guy and you're backing him, knowing that the offense is a problem. I know you have a better football mind than any of us in the comment section, myself included. You know the offense is broken. You know this is not sustainable. Why are you putting your job and your life basically on the line for a man who cannot do his job? Jonathan, get out of your head. Please, because this is not a you problem. You and Nick Rallis and Monty Ossenfort are the staple points. Drew Petzing is holding this team back. He's anchoring it back. Get out of your head. We don't need you to put your job on the line. Because if you're going to come out with quotes like that, I am going to come for you. I'm going to start questioning you because you're backing this man. It is a you problem at that point. So if you're going to put your job on the line, there's going to be criticism coming your way too. And you got to take accountability for that then. So if you want it, we'll throw it your way. I really don't care. And, you know, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. basically just shut out. And yes, I'm raising these flags, but he's not a bust. I'm not worried about him. His confidence is broken. He is broken as a player right now. That doesn't mean I don't believe in him. That doesn't mean I don't think he will succeed, because I think he is a heck of a player, and I think he's going to get it right at some point. But with Drew Petzing as offensive coordinator, Marvin's not going to thrive. Why even take him at that point at number 4 if you're going to have no utilization from him? Don't make it make sense. Or make it make sense. I really don't get it. And then, yeah, obviously, this sucks too, losing James Conner for the year. Now you have offensive adversity even more. In the offensive line, can't run block. So, hey, we're in a very interesting situation. But at this point, Marvin Harrison Jr. is absolutely broke. You need to get him involved and build that confidence so you don't kill it as a young receiver. Build that in him. Drew Petzing, get him early touches. The screens, you love to throw screens, just not to Marvin Harrison Jr. You like to get it to Greg Dortch. Why don't you trust your best receiver in that room? Have all your opinions on Marvin Harrison Jr. all you want. But at the same time, we're going to look at each other in the face right now, and we're going to realize he's the best thing we have in this wide receiver room. Whether you believe in him or not, you think he should have been a second-round pick. He's the 5th best receiver in his class. He is ultra-talented, mega-talented, and he is going to be great in this league. But right now, with Drew Petzing holding this offense back, he's never going to build that confidence, and he's never going to be the player or become the guy that I know he can be. He has to work on a lot of things. Body catching is one of those. But Marv and Drew, you got to actually get him involved. Please and thank you. Drew Petzing, you got to go. And at this point, I'm really hoping we get kind of flooded on Thursday Night Football in front of national on national TV. I'm hoping we absolutely get flooded because Drew Petzing, that'll be the opportunity for us to pack your bags and send you away. So let's hope that happens. And, you know, I would love to get a win. But if that means Drew Petzing is gone after a loss and the offense gets shut out, maybe that's what has to happen. Don't know. I really don't know. And there is also a play right here, too, where I'm going to pull it up. You guys see this? There's 9 people in the box. Drew Petzing, what does he do? He lines up in shotgun and calls a halfback draw. Maybe Kyler should have audibled out of this. I don't know. I think Kyler should have audibled out of this, but based on the formation, there's not much you can do. Do you burn a timeout, or do you just run it and kill the down? Don't know. Drew Petzing. This is awful. Just a terrible look. I could vent to you with my frustrations with Drew Petzing all day long. It's just crazy, man. Situational play calling, just play calling overall is terrible. And this offense is not going to win in the NFL. And until he's gone, the Cardinals will be a joke of a team. And that is my stance on that. You guys let me know how you guys feel about it. That is my little rant today. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL content. It's been pretty toxic the last 2 days. But, like, that's just the state of this team and where I stand. You guys know I have not believed in this offense or thought it was sustainable for 2 years now. Going into 3 weeks, it's the same thing. I think he deserves to get packed up. But I digress. So with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.